Hi guys, it's me Robin and this is Vespa. This is my dog Potato's friend. We're neighbors. Anyway, she's been on this couch with me. I've been trying to record this and I think she's really irritated. She got like a little eye infection, which is why she's got this cone. Anyways, so I'm going to do the best I can to get this done. This session that I recorded with a client, this might have been one of our last sessions actually from the work that we did together. This was done 3 years ago. This woman had real issues with thinness. She had been thin. Her husband was really into thinness and healthiness. Her kids were into food health and healthiness, and thinness was really important in how they Potato. Oh my God, these dogs! I swear. Do you want to give me a kiss? You want to give me kisses? You want to come here? Give me kisses. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think that worked. That's what got jealous. She had to accept that if she was to get freedom from the weight and burden of having to diet for other people's pleasure and other people's perceptions of what's right and wrong, that she would have to accept her real body and then be vulnerable to exposing it. The essence of this session, or the clip that I'm posting here, is codependency. Needing other people to value you for you to feel good about yourself. And in order to set yourself free from all of the work you have to do to get their validation or value, you have to really value yourself, not just because of the inner sense of yourself, but you have to value yourself even if you suck at those things that people think should be valued. That's really important. So here is, I put 2 clips together. The whole session's pretty good. If you want to watch the whole session, it is, I posted it 3 years ago. I'll put the link below. If you want to watch my most current YouTube videos, I've got a link to the Patreon account where I'm posting my current YouTube videos that are private. If you would like to work with me, below is a link to my website. You'll need to fill in the information request form. I'll get it back to you as soon as possible. So enjoy this session, and I'm going to take these dogs out. You want to say hi, Vespa? Want to say hi? Oh, she's so cute. You want to come say hi, Potato? Come say hi, Potato. Come here. Come here, babies. Say hi. All right. Okay. I think we're good now. I think we're good. Very selfish thing to say that it's my husband's job to make me feel needed. He has to make me feel needed.
No, true.
He's mine, and if he doesn't do it, then I feel bad. It's his fault. It's very martyr, very victim. You know, it's my parents' job to make me feel good it's my parents' job to make me feel approvable.
Right.
It's just you're right. It's a very selfish, even though it doesn't feel selfish, it actually feels very selfless. It's extremely selfish because it's very self-centered and needy, and you're taking other people and saying it's your job to make me feel adequate. Look at the role you have with the body. It is my body's job to make me feel valuable. So this body has to work.
Yeah. And like you're blaming your body for not providing.
Yes, what culture says is correct. What you need, which is founded on what culture and society tells you. It's not even a decision on your part. You're not the creator, right? You're just being told by society. But what that design is that you believe that it is society's job to approve of you.
Yes.
Right? So we may say, and it varies for individuals. It's like, okay, my parents love me. My dad loves me. It's not them that I'm trying to lose weight for. My husband loved me, even though I know he'd probably find me more attractive, but he loves me. He's not going anywhere. But then it's like, but society, I want to wear those clothes. I want to walk into a restaurant and be like, who's that girl? Right? Now you're trying to get approval from complete strangers.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the ideal, right? Or friends, or these group of friends, right? Like, the most important people love you, right? But the problem is you're trying to fulfill a sense of security out of survival. There is an ancient history to this in terms of needing society, security in society to feel safety.
Right, because you want to feel part of the group.
Yes, that is actually an inherent part of humanity. We are pack animals, and there is a true sense of security that comes from the pack. However, what you've done is you've attached to this insane culture that actually, if you look at the reality of your pack, you're secure. You're totally secure. Right. You have nothing to worry about. The problem is that we have this media that creates these ideals that we see, right? We see those pictures on Pinterest, the idolized fit body. We see the just in the diet culture on the media. Social media is the worst, right? And and not only the fit culture, but the diet culture. I'm better than because I'm all of this and I don't eat that. And right, there's this kind of worshiping of these ideals that you see on the extreme level. The brain, you may logically say, oh, that's not realistic. My body's not like that. But the more you see these images and you hear this type of lifestyle with food, the more our unconscious part of the brain says this is the normal, this is the landscape we live in because we see it all the time.
Yeah. So
it's actually very elusive how it comes into your brain and says you are not normal. Your environment it's not going to work for you. Right?
Well, and given culture, that's a really good point, because if you aren't losing weight, then your value to the community that you've made up is less.
Yeah.
And so to be here in the community, which is number one important to all of us, you have to do these things, because otherwise you're not as good as the next person and you're decreasing your value.
Exactly.
And could probably out of the community if you don't do
that's the fear is rejection, abandonment, disapproval.
Oh, I like it.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm going to be shunned. This is such a first world problem.
Yeah, it is.
That I have to have a certain look to be.
It's a whole Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Totally. It is. When you get out of it, it's like, oh my God, this is just stupid.
Yeah, if I was worried about where the roof over my head was going to be, I would not be worried about what shoes I'm wearing.
No.
Let me tell you.
If we get to reality, it's like, oh, well, even just eating to hunger. If we had to ration food, I would not eat because I'm bored. It's all of a sudden like, that doesn't make sense. But all of a sudden we have huge amounts of abundance. We have food religions that say that's bad, 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 bad. It's like all over the place. You have to be skinny to be valuable, and which means you cannot eat this food that's right in front of your face. No wonder we're acting like we're starving in abundance, right? And I talk about that in Weight Loss Apocalypse. I just don't go into any detail.
Yeah.
It's always kind, regardless of someone's acknowledgement. It's always been there. And if someone says you're not a nice person, that doesn't take away from that kindness. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It still exists. And it's not better than it was. It's just maybe you recognize it more now, right?
Right.
It is that recognition. So you have to have a recognition of it to allow it to be what you're using as the expression of who you are. The body then becomes a body. It just becomes this flesh. It just becomes this amazing place for you to communicate spiritually. That's all this is. And it gives you this freedom to just appreciate it from a point of view that is beyond your comprehension. I mean, honestly, think about the body you created. How many bodies did your body create? 2? 2, 3 kids?
I have 2 kids. Yeah.
The body you're in created 2 other human bodies.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's like, and it survived in that creation and then delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really quite amazing that we can have this experience, that we can have a real physical experience. But that physical experience doesn't define the spiritual experience. And I think what you're about to begin is your spiritual experience on this planet.
It sounds like. Well, yeah, because when you said that, it really resonated with me that it's whatever's lacking is lacking in my spirit, and it'll always lack that, no matter what body you're in. Because I have been extremely thin before, and it was never enough.
Mm-mm.
And that's not about, the body at that point.
It's not a physical problem.
It becomes right, and it pisses you off, because all of my life I've been like, well, if it was this, my life would be perfect. If only I had this, my life would be perfect. That's so not true.
No, you just needed to recognize yourself and say, my life has been perfect. I have been perfect. Nothing needed to be fixed. Now it is a form of expressing it. It's like, oh, what I didn't have was I didn't recognize the truth of what made me valuable inherently. Like the reality of what's inherent. It's real. It's now. It's been there the whole time. I didn't recognize it. And honor. Honor is a very important word for you. It's really about honoring what you have.
Yeah.
If you actually took what you have in the spirit and say, this is honorable, this is whole and complete. It doesn't need to be changed. It doesn't need to be fixed. I don't have to follow a set of rules to make it better. It just is, it is all I've needed, and I'm going to now honor this. This is now my focus in life. What does that allow you to do? Express it.
Yeah. And it opens up all these doors because that's what your mission is now. Do you know what I mean? Like
now you're in line. Now it's in line with the truth of what you, and staying intact with that and honoring that. And you can go, oh man, if I knew this when I was a kid, I would have had a lot more self-confidence. I would have felt so much better about myself, even when someone was making fun of me. Even if someone, even in a situation where things were taken from me, I would have had this spirit to say, you know what, that's okay. They maybe needed it. You don't have to have it. Right? Yeah. You're now flipping into a state of abundance. It's this state of like, oh, I don't really need very much to be happy. If I'm safe, if I'm secure, now we're getting to real security, like actual life and death security. If I have a home, if I have safety from elements, if my children have safety, if we have enough food, if I have my family, what else do I need? Everything else becomes a game. Everything else becomes like, if I have extra money, if I have these nice clothes, if I get to do my hair, if I get to play makeup, this is just for fun. Yeah. Right?
That's so true.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's like I like getting my nails done. That's a form of expression. So when I just paint my nail colors, I'm going to choose something that feels good to the spirit. I'm not going to pick a color I think my mom will like. I'm not going to pick a color that my friends will like. I'm going to pick a color that actually really resonates with my expression. Right? And so now, something as stupid as nails, it doesn't become that important. It's just an form of, so it can go away. You don't have to have nail color.
Right, right. No, that's a really good point.
Yeah, like your hair. Like, I can straighten my hair, I can curl my hair, I can put it in a bun, I can put things in it, I can go get it colored if I really wanted to, but it doesn't really change anything in my life. It becomes something from abundance. It's like something that we can give away if we really needed to. I could give that away, and it wouldn't make me feel like I've lost something. So if my husband loses his job, or if I lose my job, and we need to find a smaller house, that's fine. We still have comfort. We still have safety, and that's really all this home is supposed to be about. Right? You can even get down to a tent. That's what I did. I was like, I could live in a tent. If I had to live in a tent, I could totally live in a tent. As long as I have safety from the elements, I'm okay. Yeah. I could have a lot of fun in a tent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then what happens is there's this reduction in neediness. You don't need your parents. You don't need your husband anymore. You don't need this body image. So you're no longer self-centered. You're no longer narcissistic, right? And you can appreciate what you have and don't feel like I need more. So this consumption and consumerism that goes on, this insatiable appetite for more, better, it just is like, I don't need to have it. If I have it, that's awesome. I'll appreciate it. But I can share, I can give. I don't have to have it. You become more giving. And that was the point I was going to make when I first started talking, is that what happens when you are allowed to express your spirit is you want to give it away. It's just, you want to give it. So if you have this kindness, you're going to give kindness away now. If you have a feeling of generosity, being generous is so intrinsically valuable and like pleasurable that you want to go volunteer. You know, the clothes that you've been hoarding because you don't want to have to go buy more when you lose weight, you're like, I want to give these to someone that might need them. You know, there's a level of giving that becomes rewarding once you have this, when you really let that shine, the spirit shine. And it's not defined by religion and politics and culture. When it's defined by what's inherent, whether you're in this culture, that culture, this time, that time, doesn't even matter. It's the same whether you're in this body, that body, if you live in New York or if you live in San Diego, it doesn't matter. It's the same spirit. You have the same, you might express it differently in a different culture.